The sun sat high over the manicured streets of Northbrook, Ohio, a suburban enclave known for its quiet charm and near-sterile sense of order. It was the kind of place where American flags fluttered from porches, the smell of freshly mowed lawns lingered midair, and neighbors waved more out of habit than sincerity. Police patrols here were mostly symbolic reassuring presences in a town that prided itself on being safe by design. Officer Patrick Calloway, a 20-year veteran of the Northbrook Police Department, cruised down East Laurel Avenue with the window cracked just enough to catch the breeze. One hand rested on the wheel, the other lazily toyed with the volume knob of the radio, playing soft jazz. He wasn't looking for trouble, not really. But Calloway had a reputation. Strict, unforgiving, a by-the-book guy, at least the book he believed in. In his mind, neighborhoods like this had a certain code, an unspoken guideline about who fit in and who didn't. And when something didn't align, when someone didn't align, his instincts kicked in like clockwork. He spotted her about 2 blocks ahead. A black woman, mid-40s, athletic build. She jogged with practiced precision, her arms steady, steps controlled, earbuds in, and gaze forward. Her gear was high-end Lululemon top, compression leggings, and running shoes that screamed luxury. Nothing about her said danger, but something about her didn't sit right with Calloway. She didn't glance at him as he passed. That irked him. Most folks at least offered a quick nod, maybe a wave when a cruiser rolled by. Especially in neighborhoods like Northbrook. Especially when you're black and jogging past a Tesla Model X parked in a driveway. He slowed the cruiser, easing it to the curb. Tires crunched against the pavement. He stepped out, adjusting his utility belt with a deliberate tug, not a threat, just a reminder. The woman pulled one earbud out, not pausing her stride until she was directly across from him. She looked up, not startled, not deferential, just curious. "Something wrong, officer?" she asked, slightly winded but steady. Calloway squinted. "Where you coming from?" She blinked, pointed casually behind her. "From home. Just out for my morning run." "Where's home?" She tilted her head slightly, narrowing her eyes. "A couple blocks down on Greenbrier. Got ID on you?" There it was. Her expression shifted, barely noticeable to someone less observant, but Calloway had made a career of noticing. The slight tightening around her eyes, the squared shoulders, the silence. "For what?" she asked. He didn't like that. Not the tone, not the question. "Just need to make sure everything checks out," he said, like that was enough of an explanation. She put her hands on her hips and exhaled. "You're stopping me in broad daylight for jogging. That's what this is." "Ma'am," he said, stepping forward, not aggressive, just firm. "Show me some ID." She raised her phone slightly, her thumb hovering over the screen. "You know what? Let's call someone who knows the law a little better." His fingers twitched. This was now a situation. A disturbance. Escalation 101. Put the phone down. Last warning. Her stance held. Calm. Unflinching. "I'm not required to carry ID while exercising in my own neighborhood," she said clearly, evenly. "You're interfering with a lawful investigation." "What investigation?" "I was jogging past a car." "A high-value vehicle," Calloway snapped. "You mean the Tesla?" she asked, her tone laced with disbelief. "Jogging past a nice car is suspicious now. You're refusing to comply. I'm refusing to be harassed." That word landed like a slap. Calloway's ears burned. Harassed. That word carried weight. Implication. Lawsuit potential. Reputation damage. "You're resisting." "I'm resisting nothing. You're abusing your authority." Her hand twitched toward her phone again. He moved without thinking. A practiced maneuver. Left hand grabs the wrist. Right hand secures the other behind her back. The cuffs gleamed in the sunlight before clanking around her wrists. "What the hell?" she yelled, twisting. "You're under arrest for obstruction," he said flatly. Across the street, a man dropped his gardening shears. A teenage boy froze mid-scooter ride. Someone on a front porch raised their phone. "You're making a mistake," she said, her breath tight, restrained fury in every syllable. "You should have cooperated," he replied, jaw clenched. Then, clear as crystal, she said it. "You don't even know who I am." He didn't care. He should have. Dispatch confirmed a unit was en route. A woman across the street shouted. She didn't do anything. Calloway ignored it. But then came a voice calm, authoritative, close. "Excuse me, officer. What's going on here?" A tall black man in his 50s, suit jacket draped over one arm, approached with calm deliberation. His presence changed the atmosphere. Calloway straightened. "Sir, please step back." The man ignored the instruction, eyes darting from the cuffs to the jogger's face. "Is this really happening?" he asked, more to himself than anyone else. "She was non-compliant," Calloway said. The woman, still cuffed, exhaled. "I was jogging." "That's it." The man turned his gaze back to Calloway. "You cuffed a woman for jogging?" She refused to identify herself. "Because she doesn't have to." Before the tension could thicken further, a sleek black SUV with government plates pulled up. The driver's door opened. Out stepped Captain Edward Hamley, Calloway's direct superior. His face was stone. Calloway felt something shift in his gut. Hamley marched forward. "Uncuff her," he barked. Calloway's heart skipped. "Sir, I said you uncuff her. Now." He hesitated, then obeyed. The woman flexed her wrists as the cuffs fell away. Red indentations circled her skin like fresh bruises. Hamley turned to her, his tone softening. "Ma'am, are you all right?" She gave a short nod. Hamley turned to Calloway. "Do you even know who you just put in handcuffs?" Silence. She didn't identify. She didn't have to, Hamley snapped. The woman stepped forward, eyes locked on Calloway. "My name is Deputy Chief Aaliyah Monroe," she said, voice low and cutting. "And you just handcuffed your superior." It was like the world dropped out from under him. He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. "I watched you," she continued. "I watched how fast you decided I didn't belong. I watched you decide I was suspicious for jogging. You don't know my name. You don't know my address. But you decided my skin tone was enough to justify an arrest." Calloway wanted to vanish. "You place your hands on me," she said, stepping closer. "You locked cuffs around my wrists. You didn't just profile me. You criminalized me." Hanley didn't speak. He didn't need to. Every face in the crowd, neighbors, kids, phones raised, spoke for him. "Sergeant Calloway," Hanley said finally, "you are relieved of duty, effective immediately. Badge. Gun. Now." Calloway's fingers shook. He undid the clip, removed his badge, placed it in Hanley's palm, then the sidearm. He stood there, empty and unarmed. Chief Monroe turned to him one last time. "Take a long, hard look in a mirror, officer. Because the next time you see a black person jogging in your neighborhood, maybe you'll think twice before deciding they don't belong. No die. No yelling. Just measured devastation." She walked away, got into her SUV, and drove off without looking back. The crowd slowly dispersed. Calloway sat alone in the cruiser long after everyone had gone. His hands rested on his lap, fingers still curled from the ghost of those handcuffs. He watched the trees sway, watched kids ride bikes, watched lawn sprinklers tick back and forth like time mocking him. He'd always believed in the system, believed in instincts, believed in control. But what happened today wasn't control. It was bias. It was assumption. It was wrong. He didn't just arrest the wrong person, revealed everything broken in himself. And now the whole world knew.